Elements of theater. This presentation shares basic terms and concepts you should know about the elements of theater. The 4 areas we will look at are the story, the process, the audience, and the performance of formal theater. Let's start with the definition. Just what do we mean when we talk about theater? The imitation or representation of life performed for other people. It also means the place where dramatic performances take place. First, we will look at story. A theatrical performance begins with a script or the written text of a play. In improvised theater, this may be an informal plan or scenario. Let's look at the script format. There's some important things to know about reading a script that's different from reading a novel or poetry. It often helps children to read better when you point these differences out. First, you will usually see information about the play that's not part of what the actors say. You will see the cast of characters or who's performing in the scene. In this case, it's Lady Capulet, Juliet her daughter, and the nurse, Juliet's servant. Then you see the setting, what actor's seen in the play, and the specific place, a room in Capulet's house. Whenever you see parentheses, that indicates the action or stage business. It is not read aloud. Finally, you come to the actor's speeches. That is referred to as dialogue. Dialogue is written with the convention that the speaker's name comes first, then the spoken part. Lady Capulet would never say, "Lady Capulet, nurse, where's my daughter?" Instead, she would start with, "Nurse, where's my daughter? Call her forth to me." And the nurse would answer, "Now by my maidenhead, at 12-year-old I bade her come. God forbid, where's this girl? What, Juliet?" You may have studied about plot structure in your English classes. The Greeks are also responsible for the original plot structure. Freytag referred to it as a pyramid, but here is a modernized version of one. It shows the beginning as exposition, then an inciting incident followed by complications that lead to rising action. Finally, there is the climax, often described as the point of highest dramatic tension or a major turning point in the action. Then comes the denouement, or falling action, that finally leads to the resolution. These are all part of the plot structure. In improvisation, the actors do not work from a memorized script, but create scenes spontaneously. This picture is an example of a tableau, or frozen action from a scene. Look at it carefully. Who are the characters? What are their relationships? Where does the scene take place? What do you think the situation is? Theater is a collaborative art form that involves development of a performance over time. The creative processes involve acting and directing as well as designing. If you want to sound smart, refer to this as the rehearsal process instead of play practice. That is what the professionals do. So just what does an actor or actress do? The actor's toolbox includes voice, body, and imagination. Actors have to first read and analyze the script to find out all about the characters they are playing. Then they use observation and imagination to develop the character. The actor works at creating voice and movement through the process of rehearsal. That is often a long process that takes many weeks or even months to refine. You may think that a director simply yells at people to tell them what to do, but there are many responsibilities with this job, from creating a unifying concept, to collaborating with designers, to planning and scheduling. In fact, staging scenes, commonly referred to as blocking, is just one small part of what a director does. So what does a designer do? Designers make the world of the play come alive. They create the scenery or set to establish where the play is. The costumes and makeup can show character or historical and cultural context. Lighting and sound add to the mood of the play. Props refers to anything that is moved on stage, from a piece of furniture to a pocket watch, or in this case, fake food. So how does the audience fit in the picture? Theater does not exist without people to engage in the world of the play. What does the audience do? Now, this is a helpful way to explain to children. They observe closely using their senses, engage their imaginations to help create the world of the play, and allow others to experience the performance without distractions. But there's another important question. Where do they sit? Types of stages are named by where the audience sits. When the audience sits all around the stage, it's called arena or in the round. The most common is the audience on one side and the stage on the other. This is called proscenium. When the audience is on three sides with part of the stage sticking out, it is called thrust because the stage is thrusting into the audience. And when the audience is on two sides, kind of like a tennis match, it is called alley. Theater takes many different forms. Do you recognize these? This one is a new Broadway musical called Spring Awakening. Take a guess. This style is called melodrama. Try to guess this one. This theatrical form is called pantomime or acting without words. Puppetry is an exciting form of theater for kids and for adults, one of my personal favorites. In theater, you often see the comedy and tragedy masks. Well, this is an over-the-top comedy form called farce. This play is called Noises Off. Arthur Miller called his play Death of a Salesman a tragedy for the common man. Tragedy is a form of theater created by the ancient Greeks, but here is a modern tragedy starring Philip Seymour Hoffman. I hope you found this presentation on the elements of theater helpful. You can download it from the iAccess website if you would like a copy for future reference. Be sure to check the notes for more information.